Welcome to Let's Talk Amazon Advertising. Whether you've never listed a product on Amazon or have years of experience, this podcast is for you. Your host, Matt Campbell, is a successful Amazon seller and co-founder of a digital advertising agency. His expertise is in reducing ad spend and increasing profitability. Get ready to learn the most current tips and tricks in advertising strategies on Amazon. Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Keep listening. Here we go.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Let's Talk Amazon Advertising. Today we'll talk about why data is important, but even more importantly, when to use that data. And just a quick disclaimer, this podcast I recorded completely raw and completely unedited, and that way I could spend more time creating valuable content and less time on the editing side. So I'm sitting here in my office, and next to me I have my dog Oscar, and he's over here sleeping. So if you hear him snore, just have a little grace and ignore that. So let's go ahead and get started today as we're talking about when there is enough data to make a decision. That's really what we want to discuss. And so when it comes to Amazon, so first of all, as you heard, I have an Amazon advertising agency where we specialize and run accounts for Amazon for clients. It's called Opt My Ads. So you can check us out. But we specialize in just really running the advertising side on Amazon and social media, that sort of thing. But for us, when we're doing a consultation, the reason why I wanted to do this podcast is because we hear so many times our clients ask, okay, well, we got to sell here. We immediately need to start spending money there. Or we haven't got to sell on this keyword in 5 or 10 clicks. And is this enough data to go ahead and pause this keyword or create it as a negative keyword? In most cases, the answer is no. There is not enough data to make a decision yet. We need more data. So that's what we want to talk about. When is there enough data to make a decision? In most cases, there's just not enough yet. A lot of times, even softwares will adjust bids without understanding the data as well. The problem is with just a formula is that keywords should be targeted differently. For example, if someone is searching for your exact product, you would expect higher conversion rates. However, what if your product is a complementary product of what they're searching for? In this case, you would expect lower conversion rates, but they're still your same target market. So in that case, you can still get conversions and you should still target those keywords just differently. It's not the same. It's not the same as that. So what I like to do is I in our agency will do is we like to separate it into different categories. First of all, let's call it category A, or this is your specific keyword and its long tail. So let's just dive in this a bit. This category, it's your main target market keywords. This could be your main keyword, long tail keywords, or similar keywords. As long as they are searching for a type of your product that you're selling, I consider this category A. Within this category, always expect higher conversion rates than the other categories. However, a lot of times you will find lower conversion rates on your main keyword due to competition and not due to the keyword itself. So just keep that in mind. Be conscious of this. If you're finding a lot of your category A keywords are considered unprofitable or negative or not converting, then consider this a product problem and not an advertising problem. We get this so much when the main keywords or even the long tail keywords just don't convert at all. Then consider this a problem with your product and not the advertising itself. Now, there are things that you can do on targeting away from the more expensive keywords and diving into long tail keywords, which we'll discuss on a different podcast. But if you're not converting at all on some of your main keywords and you're getting a lot of clicks, then I would start revisiting my product and revisiting this niche. Is the competition just too high? Because the more competition you have, the more conversion rates the lower your conversion rate's going to be in the long run. So then that brings me to the next question. So when is there enough clicks? When is there enough data to understand for category A? When enough data to make a decision? the main ingredients on this is your conversion rate of the product or the niche. So, for example, let's just take a coin, flipping a coin, for example. 50% heads, 50% tails. So you have a 50% chance of landing on heads. So a one in two chance on a click. So you would expect every 2 clicks to get a sell. Every 8 clicks, every 8 flips of this coin, you have a 99.6% chance at least landing heads one time. So there's a pretty good chance to say you're going to land on heads at least once on those 8 clicks. 8 flips. So let's take that and use that for a product. First of all, if you got a 50% conversion rate, you've already hit the home run. So congratulations. But same for a product. If you have a 50% conversion rate, if you get 8 clicks and you have not converted a sale, that keyword is not relevant. So that's when you know that there's enough data, because you got a 99.6% chance to land on heads or convert a sale, right? So that's when you know there's enough data. I like to look at the 90% confidence interval range. So I like to look at 90% chance of a conversion rate by then. So if you haven't had a sale within that 90% time, then when you have a 90% chance of it getting a sale, then that's, for me, is enough to say, okay, now I've got enough data to make a decision to either really reduce these bids on this keyword or target different keywords. So just to give you some more examples of when you get to that 90%, if you got a 20% conversion rate, 10 clicks is enough to know at a 90% confidence interval if this keyword is going to convert for you or not at your conversion rate. If you have a 15% conversion rate, it's 14 clicks, 14 to 15 clicks. That's when you're at 90% confidence interval that you should have had a sell by now. If you're at 10% conversion rate, that's when it jumps up to 22. So it really takes a big jump from 15 to 10% conversion rate, from 14 to 22 clicks, that you should at least generate a one sell 90% of the time. So, but then it comes down to, if you have a 7% conversion rate, that jumps all the way up to 30. So you can see the lower your conversion rate, the more this number will jump up. And then if you have a 5% conversion rate, which if you do, once again, this could be a product problem. You really want to deep dive into this. Then it's going to really take about to really understand with confidence that you should have generated a sell about 40 to 45 clicks in that range. So I like to look at it at a 90% confidence interval, but you might be less aggressive. You might, and that's the thing, is if it's a category A keyword, I feel like I should be more aggressive and really understand if this keyword should convert for me. So, but that's your main keyword. That's your target market for sure, because you're searching your keywords. Let's talk about a different category, and I would like to call it category. Let's just say category B, but it's more of a complementary products or substitutes of some sort. So this category is meant to find similar products to yours, but not the same. The reason for this is that it's still the same target market or similar, and you can produce some conversions. However, expect a decrease in conversions here from category A to category B. In this case, you can find complementary products by searching in your own listings, and search such as where it says also purchase with, and then, or if you don't have a listing yet, you can search your competitors, your highest competition, and see what other products people are buying with it. So in some cases, it'll be the same product. However, you'll find some good complementary products there. So my goal in this category is to get as many clicks inexpensively as possible in category B. So how we're able to attain this is by targeting campaigns for complementary products at a low bid, and it's also our best practice to kind of separate these categories. Category A, our category A, from our category B keywords with different ad groups or even campaigns altogether. And also, we'll even do product targeting if you have complementary products, as well. You just want lower bids in this category B. So an example of category B would be like if you're selling golf club covers, a golf club brush. If someone's searching a golf club cover or a golf club brush and you sell golf club covers, you won't convert nearly as high as if you were selling a golf club brush, but you still can have some conversions because it is the same target market. The same people are buying those keywords or buying those products as they are the brush. So think of it as the same target market, but they're not quite looking for your product. So your conversion rates are going to go down quite a bit. Typically, your conversion rates are going to be half or even as low as a third as your category A keywords. But when can this be profitable? For example, my products usually convert around 20%, right? So in my category B, conversion rates are around 7%. So if I'm getting clicks, where I can convert at my break even at 15 clicks, if I can get it down to that price, then it's either break even or profitable if it's less, right? So just keep that in mind when you're doing your bidding. If you can get 15 clicks at, for me, it's 15 clicks at a 7% conversion rate or around that rate. If I can get to my break even point or less with that same amount of clicks with the bid, then that keyword's going to be profitable for me. So that's why it's important to really target category B keywords just differently than your category A. You can't look at them the same because that's when ads become truly unprofitable. So, and we see it so often. And the easiest way to do this is by grouping those keywords together with your same ad group or your same campaigns. We like to completely separate the campaigns and from category A and category B because first of all, it's easier to manage. It's easier to understand. Second, the most important is we're going to direct less of our advertising budget to these keywords, right? So let's say we have a $100 daily budget in our spend. There's no way I would want to spend more than 15 to 20 bucks on these complementary keywords. The nice thing is if I'm getting that, if I'm hitting my budget, it's going to be at a low click. So I should be generating some sales. And then over the long run, if you do have good lifetime value, you do have repeat customers, you're going to generate more sales in the long run. So just keep that in mind. But the easiest way to really screw up on these category B keywords is grouping them with your category A keywords. So just a disclaimer there. And another thing is there's another category, I call it category C, and that's just general keywords. And for example, like keywords that are not targeting the golfing athlete and for that specific example, right? So that might be targeting an athlete or some sort of sport, but not the golf, right? Those keywords we just try to stay away from as much as possible. And if you are bidding on them in your auto campaigns, because Amazon, is putting together some of your keywords, make the adjustment. Put those in your negative keywords. If you see category C, which are general keywords in your auto campaign, and they're not generating sales, you got to put those in your negative keywords in your auto campaign. So how do you find that quickly? Is you go to your Amazon advertising, go to Seller Central, go to your advertising, go to your reports, and you see and run a search term report and run it for as much data as possible, much days as possible. And then from there, you can put it in Excel and filter out those auto campaigns. So we won't deep dive into that, but that's where you start is with your search term report and find those category C's. So you have category A, which are your target market, higher conversion rates in its own separate campaign, ad group, portfolio, however you want to manage it. Category B, less bids, less conversion, less aggressiveness, but you still want a little bit of your budget, 15 to 20% of your budget looking for those category B to increase your market, right? And then category C, stay away from. Try to get away from that as much as possible because they're just going to cost you money in the long run. Unless you got some crazy high conversions on your product, category C won't be profitable. So here's where we come into a situation is if you're running like mass data, right? Like, for example, our agency will manage through, hundreds, really millions of lines of data daily on a daily basis. So how can we literally go through the keywords and manage that, right? We have accounts that that we have to scroll, look through hundreds of thousands of lines of data or keywords because the accounts are so big, right? So how do you handle that? Well, another way to separate these are with proven keywords, right? Unproven keywords, and then non-converters, right? This is a good way to handle it. If you have, and you have to have data to be able to do this, right? If you don't have data, then this isn't going to work. But so, for example, if you have what we call proven keywords, they've generated multiple cells. They're not one-off cells on a specific keyword, because even the worst keywords, even category C keywords, can generate a few cells, right, here and there. That doesn't mean you target those the same way as a category A. So that's why we'd put it in a proven category. You have to have multiple cells. The more data you have, the more cells you would want to see on a specific keyword for this to go into this proven category. I hope that makes sense. And then an unproven category, which would be keywords that generated cells, such as the ones and twosies, right? Not very many cells here, but they have generated some cells. So you put that in an unproven campaign or ad group, however you're deciding to manage this. Preferably it's campaigns for me because I want to manage the budget size once again based on this. But so you have proven, you're going to be more aggressive on, of course, because let's just replace that with category A. Unproven keywords is going to be, it's not exactly the same, but it's going to be category B for you, right? And then you have a third category. In this case, it's basically non-converters. It's okay to keep those going at a low bid, right? So if you think that there's a chance that it can convert 1 out of every 100 clicks, then and you might be looking at a bid of 20 cents or 15 cents or 30 cents, depending on your product margin, where that's profitable. So that's kind of how we'll separate, a good way to separate it. But if you're not separating the types of keywords, you're never going to be able to win. You're never going to be able to really, truly optimize. You need to be able to, be more aggressive with the right categories, the right keywords, and be less aggressive with really the supplements and the complementary product keywords, right? And because they're still your target market, you can still generate additional, 3 or 4 sales a day from these products or from these keywords. And if you have the right bids, and you can still do it at a profitable rate. So it's always measuring. And now I would never put a product category B keyword into like a ranking campaign where you're trying to rank for those keywords. Unless the market itself is completely, there's no competition there, or if it's very, very low, I would not try to rank for a complementary keyword, that sort of thing. So, but that's the basics of this. Once you get to this point and you get enough data, then you can deep dive into even more specialties, such as these keywords convert at on average at between 12 and 15%. I'm grouping these together. These convert at 8 to 12%. I'm grouping these together. These convert at 15 to 20%. I'm grouping these together. Once you can get to that point, that's when you really can truly optimize your keywords and really become profitable. But with that, it takes a lot of data. So think about every single keyword. Back to my point before, if you're converting at 20% overall, you would expect at least 10 clicks to understand if this keyword is good or bad or not, or it is even going to work, right? At least 10 clicks. So, but that's it for keywords. I know there's a lot to cover. I went through it quickly, and keywords, there's so much more to dive in. I mean, this is just really high level on how to separate your keywords and looking at it and understanding when there is enough data to make a decision. And back to on the data side, as far as when there's enough data, category A, you be more aggressive, but those category B keywords, I won't have a 90% confidence interval because I don't want to spend that many clicks. I might look at a 70% at that point. Hope that makes sense. So, but that's it. Thanks for jumping on today and having a listen. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, my podcast. And if you haven't done so, check out our website, opmyads.com. And if you have questions, you don't even have to be interested in the agency. You have questions, just shoot me an email from there. It'll get filtered down to me if you just send it to me. So, but that's it for today, and we'll talk to you next time.